took 7 years for Capcom to include Virgil in Devil May Cry 4, only to be overpowered, underdeveloped, and given like 3 lines. Teases Yamada in the cutscenes, but then fails to deliver. Virgil's campaign is basically him walking in and out of Fortuna City, another complex where all the yahoos built an entire residential compound for ghosts. Where are these demons falling from? Space? How would have Kiria not seen Nero waltzing into the building? She has a clear view of the audience from the stage. Did he bust in through the ceiling? And why do that anyway? Drowsiness is the result when you hold opera-inclusive seminars at the crack of dawn. What is the point of this sermon? Everyone who attended this speech knows full well of Sparta's sacrifice. The only action encouraged is prayer, albeit to a dead demon who they turn into a god that they believe will save them from a war that will envelop the world.
Nero, what's wrong?
I'm out of here.
You just freaking got here, you nitwit! Desmond and Ezio decide to apply the cartoon tactic of running in circles. I know Dante is fast and all, but when did he find the time to wipe his face of the blood? Did it just evaporate? Does blood in this game have the viscosity of water? I honestly can't tell what is going on here. Did they need to have a million camera angles for a 5-second scene? This is the only time you'll see Nero reload between now and Devil May Cry 5. Dante cuts himself off before noticing that Nero is throwing the UFC May Cry.
You aren't human, are you?
You thought you were fighting a human the whole time? The fudge? Clothes healing powers.
You will come to learn the meaning soon enough.
By soon, Dante meant in the next game. If this is how Nero keeps hiding his arm, every man, woman, and underworld citizen should know he's part demon.
You brought this here for me?
Credo requested.
Credo orders Kyrie to bring Nero's Red Queen that is clearly too heavy for her instead of his subordinates. Credo is a d***. Did a measly 20 scarecrows cause that earthquake? Oh right, these things fall from space. Not one person in an entire crowd of people makes a damn sound during this guy's swan song. Nero's motivation is Kyrie's feelings to a T. Tending to her during pregnancy is going to make her a widow. Is there any reason she couldn't have grabbed him and ran? No way the scarecrows can get past that blockade. Mission accomplished. Momentum fail. Has legendary demonic blood and still can't swim for shit. If you look up burial in the dictionary, you'll see him getting his ass kicked by Nero. Time to store the Hellgate, right? Where's everyone going? Bingo!
I'm new. Gloria.
I know they aren't related by blood, but the fact that her original form resembles his grandmother is creepy. Thanks for the revelation. Nero seems to have some vendetta against infrastructure. Devil May Cry 4 succeeds at failing to Jumanji. Nero must have been planning to go the Hamlet route after lopping off that guy's head.
She once brought us the sword Sparta.
Sparta is the name of the demon and the sword, and the trousers in his closet back home.
As for her identity, I have already investigated.
This dude should totally be in jail. Would you look at that? Writers finally gave Kratos something to do.
I won't do that to Kyrie.
Nero's higher brain functions revolve around the phrase, must protect Kyrie.
As captain of the Holy Knights, you are now about to rest. It is the wish of His Holiness.
Because fulfilling the wishes of a psychopath without any justification takes top priority in my books.
Why? Why did you do this?
Your brother attacked me and I was defending myself is all he has to say, but that's what happens when your higher brain functions revolve around. Even though breaking anything and everything concludes with a positive result, this will be the only time Nero practices restraint. What exactly was he trying to grab here? Her face? Takes out his temper on infrastructure again. See? If you had just done that in the first place.
I'm here to save you. Please trust me.
I instantly forgive you for thrashing my brother. Why are you just standing around? This isn't church, you don't have to listen to him preach. Jeez, Credo can't seem to catch a break. He gets his ass kicked by Dante, then Nero, then Sanctus. What kind of pansy ass demon did they fuse him to? Burial? Still a better love story than Twilight. Doesn't make it good though.
Do not fear! Our Savior has come for us!
This is what he actually sounds like from that altitude. What started that fire? Because it certainly was not the Savior's laser beam.
Wish you would have noticed me earlier.
Now my coat's all charred.
Clothes healing powers. The entire second half of this game is basically developers going Control C, Control V, done!
Looks like it's up to me to take care of ugly hair.
Calling your old man ugly.
Time to wake up, kid! You're missing out on all the fun!
How did Dante know exactly where Nero was in that gargantuan statue and narrowly avoid impaling him with Yamato?
I'm gonna get this done.
An entire city is falling to ruin, but please, take your time. And later stop by in the West Wing for some moist towelettes. At this point, Capcom should just make Devil May Cry a board game.
But what really pissed me off was using Kitty.
Because nothing else matters in life. Grammar may cry. Why does no one seem to care that these people go about their business using methods that rack up millions of dollars in property damages? Probably because they live in a ghost town.
It's a customer with the password. They're nearby. What should we do?
How about tear down our front door and shoot wildly at nothing? Unlike Ninja Gaiden 2, Devil May Cry 4 has a solid story with underlying themes, but falls short in distinct gameplay departments. Each main character, being Nero and Dante, have their own retrospective problems. Nero's issue mainly lies in his Buster arm, which is overpowered on smaller enemies and plays out long scenes when you grab bosses in their weakened state. His moves get slightly stale after a while as he receives no new weapons when compared to Dante in the previous title, and even in this game to some extent. Dante's section of the game, on the other hand, is what kills the experience. Whilst the enemies and bosses feel natural to beat with Nero, Dante's combat feels clunky. None of the enemies are programmed for Dante, making his combat not only hard to learn, considering how used to Nero you become, but as a chore as they repeat a second time. Ultimately, it's hard to explain how unbelievably incomplete this game feels. You fight 3 of the same bosses 3 times with no alterations to their design or style. Even with the addition of the extra characters, the boss fights either become too easy or way too difficult. Credo, for example, is an absolute nightmare to fight as Virgil, as his shield wing is almost impossible to break, causing you to stock up damage whenever you can, dragging on the fight to completely ridiculous lengths. Overall, Devil May Cry 4 is fun, but it can get stale. A solid addition to the franchise, but with Devil May Cry 3 and Devil May Cry 5 in your inventory, you'll find yourself not playing this one much.